Hey everyone, and welcome to Terminal 8 at JFK. But I'm not here to fly with American Airlines. No, tonight I'll be catching a ride with Qatar Airways on their 777ER in business class. That's right, I'm trading in economy for the legendary Qsuite on this one. But first, let's head to the lounge, because this is one of the few times that I get to feel classy. Since Qatar doesn't have their own one here at JFK, they use the American Airlines Flagship lounge. This one's pretty nice. When I was here, it was crowded, but there was still plenty of seats available. You also had these cubbies as well as quiet rooms in case you wanted to get some work done. I really like the design of this lounge. It's hip, modern, and has this cool wine bar right in the center. There's also a lot of hot and cold food options available, although now I realize that I did a terrible job filming this. Oh well, you're not here to watch a review on mediocre food though. So let's start talking about my flight to Qatar. If you've been watching my channel for a while now, you've realized that most of my flights are in economy because I'm just a regular guy with a very regularly sized bank account. But every now and then I'll splurge on something special like tonight's trip. But with that said, this one didn't break the bank, and I'll go over how I managed to afford this in a bit. And here's my seat for tonight. $3K, and I gotta say, I think I've died and gone to heaven. There's 42 business class seats in a 1-2-1 configuration, and they alternate between forward and rearward facing. If you're sitting in the middle with friends, you can also lower the dividers for a more open layout. The seat controls and power ports are positioned for easy access. There's also a massive adjustable armrest that has tons of storage space once you lift the cover. And here you can find a complimentary bottle of water and some headphones. There's also a magazine and a sickness bag in there as well. Pajamas by the White Company were also handed out. With all 354 passengers seated, the ground preparations were done, and it was time to start this almost 13-hour flight to Doha. When I selected my seat, I intentionally chose a rear-facing one because I'd never sat in one before and I wanted to see what it was like. And so far, I really don't notice any difference between this and a forward-facing seat. Now it's off to the bathroom to get changed into my pajamas. Well, I'm impressed so far. The 777ER has 4 bathrooms in the premium section, and this one is really nice. It comes fully stocked with high quality soap, lotion, and even body mist. Have you ever used that? I really wish the bathroom in my tiny New York City apartment was this nice. Qatar doesn't stock their amenity kits with razors or toothbrushes, but instead keeps them here in the bathroom. They're a bit big, but these pajamas are really comfortable. Soon after we had reached cruising altitude, the flight attendants handed out warm nuts and a drink. The seat controls are really easy to use, and you can adjust your chair to practically any position you want, including a fully flat bed. The footwell is also massive, and I really didn't feel constrained at all throughout the flight. There's several different reading lights in the Qsuite, but this one is my favorite. Qatar offers dining on demand, but I opted to take my meal shortly after takeoff. I've included all the menus at the end of this video. You can also book your meals online prior to the flight. All the food that I've had so far has been really great, but I have to say, my main course of stuffed chicken was fantastic. I really wish that I didn't eat in the lounge before. And for dessert, I just had to try out this apple tart, which as you can expect, was delicious. The crew also gave you a box of Godiva. Now let's take a look at the IFE system, starting with the in-flight map. To be honest, this feature was a letdown. I was expecting something a little bit more interactive, but instead it was just more of a slideshow. The rest of the system didn't disappoint though. You could choose from a huge variety of old and new movies, and there are a good selection of TV shows too. In the end, I decided to binge watch the controversial last season of a certain TV show. You're also given 1 hour of free Wi-Fi, and it's $10 for the entire flight, which I think is pretty good. Later on, the crew made up my bed, and it was time to get some sleep. One feature that I really think is cool is this Do Not Disturb button, which turns your seat number red. The sense of privacy that the Qsuite offers is really fantastic. I was worried that it might feel more like a coffin once that door is closed, but not at all. I was right at home. After a few hours of sleep, I woke up to some beautiful scenery as we flew over the Caucasus. Now that the light's a little bit better, let's take a look at the amenity kit by Bricks. The items inside are all really nice quality. You have things like hand cream, a face mask, lip balm, earplugs, and of course some nice socks. You also have a nice bottle of face mist, which I have never actually used before, so what the heck, I might as well just give it a try. Now, is that refreshing? Well, I guess kinda, it's not too bad. Dousing myself with face mist really had me feeling peckish, so I decided to get some breakfast. I ordered the vegetable frittata with chicken sausages, and again, the catering was really superb. This has been, without a doubt, the best airline food that I've ever had. Well done, Qatar. As we make our way over Iraq, let me talk about how I was able to afford this flight with my meager salary. Each fall, Qatar Airways has been offering business class flights at greatly reduced rates to places that many travelers might consider off the beaten path. For example, from New York, if you booked early enough, you could get a great deal to somewhere like Armenia, Georgia, or India, all for about $2,500 return. Now that's not cheap, but relatively speaking, That's a wonderful deal considering those same flights could set you back about $12,000. In my case, I decided to connect through Doha and continue on to India, which I'll be covering in a later video, all for a little over $3,000. Well worth it in my opinion to fly on the world's best business class. Well, this has really been an amazing flight, and I can honestly say that the Qsuite not only lived up to, but surpassed the lofty expectations that I had coming into this trip. The service on board was top-notch, and the cabin crew did everything possible to ensure that each passenger was comfortable. That, coupled with some of the best food I've ever had, has definitely made this one of my all-time favorite flights.
Doha, the state of Qatar, your gateway to the world, where the local time is 55 minutes past the hour of 4 p.m. this evening and outside temperature is 20 degrees. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
The cabin door is now open, so I guess that means I have to leave. After this experience, I don't know how I'm going to go back to being crammed in with screaming babies and being fed mystery meat in economy. Whatever. I don't know who I am sometimes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this trip report. Make sure to keep an eye out for my upcoming videos. I got a whole bunch in the pipeline. Thanks for watching this far, and I'll see you again soon.